If you suffer from migraines, you know how debilitating they can be. Last week, I reviewed the signs and symptoms of migraines and how you can tell if your headache is a migraine. Today, I'll review 8 tips on how to manage your migraines at home. Well, what's up, healthy people? I'm Dr. Majd, the practicing board-certified family medicine physician in San Diego. Make sure to subscribe for home treatment tips for common medical conditions for you and your family. So here we go. Number 1, prevention. The best way to treat migraines is to prevent them in the first place. Those who suffer from migraines often have headache triggers, like food or environmental factors that bring the headaches on. If you can eliminate those triggers, you can eliminate the headaches themselves. If you don't know what your triggers are, here is a list of some of the most common ones. Foods such as aged cheese, pickled foods, citrus, raisins, onions, caffeine, and this includes chocolate and sodas, MSG, which is found mostly in Asian food, nuts, nitrites and nitrates, and alcohol, especially wine. Also, the female cycle. Some women get these headaches prior to their periods or around the same time every month. Hormonal contraceptives can also trigger migraines in some patients. Strong light, think the computer screen. Certain smells like perfumes and tobacco smoke. Stress, lack of sleep, change in weather or seasons, and skipping meals. Number 2, keep a headache diary. This can be a very useful tool to understand your migraine triggers and patterns. I'll post a link to one that you can use below in the description for this video. But you may want to keep track of things like the date and time that it began and ended, the location of the headache. For instance, is it on the left side? Is it on the right side? Is it on the forehead? Description of the pain, meaning the quality of it. Is it like throbbing, pulsating? Is it sharp? Severity, so from a scale of 1 to 10, and think or imagine, if you've never experienced it, childbirth pain as a 10. Severe enough that you actually need to be hospitalized. Also jot down the medications that you took and the foods that you consumed that day and exposure to any of the triggers that were listed in tip number 1. Number 3, treat it immediately. The longer that you leave your migraine headache untreated, the more difficult it will be to get rid of it. Medications work best to stop the headache in its tracks if you take them as soon as the headache begins. If you're one of those who experiences an aura before the headache, which I explained what it was in my prior video, check it out here above. Take the treatment at that time before the onset of the headache even. Number 4, anti-inflammatories. Well, these are first line for the treatment of migraines in most patients and are easily accessible over the counter. Options include ibuprofen, 600 or 800 milligrams up to 3 times a day, or you could do naproxen, which over the counter is called Aleve, 500 milligrams up to twice a day. Make sure to take them with food though, because they can irritate the stomach lining. Note that excessive use of this group of drugs can also cause rebound headaches. When the medication wears off, the headaches actually come back. So try not to take it more than twice a week. Not everyone can take this group of drugs also, so always clear it with your doctor first. Number 5, acetaminophen. If anti-inflammatories are insufficient alone, you can combine them with over-the-counter Tylenol, which is acetaminophen. It can be taken 500 milligrams to even up to 1,000 milligrams 3 times a day max for most people. Number 6, anti-nausea medications. Speaking of the stomach, if you tend to get nausea, consider asking your doctor for a prescription anti-nausea medication to use along with the anti-inflammatories, or even used alone. It can help stop a migraine. There's one called ondansetron that actually dissolves underneath the tongue and is perfect for those who tend to vomit with migraines. Number 7, triptans are a group of prescription drugs designed for migraine cessation specifically. Examples include sumatriptan, which is now generic and inexpensive. If the above tips aren't sufficient to allow you to manage your migraines on your own, you can discuss this option with your doctor as the next step. And lastly, number 8, daily maintenance medications. If you suffer from 2 or more debilitating migraines a month, You can consider taking a daily medication to help prevent your migraines, but just know that you have this option to prevent your headaches if they happen too frequently. Now, how have you managed your migraines? Share it with us in the comments below this video. Now, if you found the information here useful, let me know by giving it a thumbs up and share it with someone else who may find it useful. And don't forget to hit that red subscribe button down there and turn on that notification bell next to it in order to learn more useful, actionable health tips for the busy person who can't always make it to the doctor's office. I'll also place a link to my website and social media channels in the description for this video down below. Now just note that all content presented is for informational purposes only. It's not specific medical advice, and you should always seek a licensed physician in your area for all health-related concerns. Well, thanks for tuning in. Stay headache-free, and I'll catch you next time.